There are now more than 100 brawlers on Brawl Stars, and you have decided on the best looking skin and the ugliest skin for each brawler. So be careful. In this video, it's important to note that these are not my preferences, but yours. Some time ago, I shared a form with you where you responded. More than 1,000 people answered, saying which skin they voted as the best for each brawler. So that gives us categories charts that we analyze over and over to determine which skin got the most votes and which one got the least. In this video, you'll see several interesting charts and discover the most popular skin for each brawler based on community votes. So if you don't agree, don't blame me, blame yourself, or you just should have answered. Before we begin, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and use code PERIADO. Thanks to everyone who does, it's a big help. The code works on all Supercell games and more. Enjoy the video. First of all, Arcade. There's a skin that came out this year, and honestly, the skin is really awesome. It's simply Arcade Clepsydra, and this one still got more than 16% of the votes. It's still the second most voted skin in Arcade, but the first one, and by quite a margin, is Arcade Virus. By the way, Arcade Antivirus was also voted for, which is just its remodel. Let's say it has less value, but the community still appreciates it. We included the default model for every brawler since some brawlers have so few skins. So the rule is to include it for everyone. And we can see that even the base model still gets more votes than the classic arcade model. That's how much it's not really appreciated. By the way, in 2025, there were some skins missing, and we can even make the comparison. But for that, I invite you to watch the 2025 video. At least you'll be able to compare the two videos. It could be interesting to see how things have changed. Anyway, we're not going to spend as much time on each brawler, but at least now you know a bit about the rules and the differences. Regarding Ali, the Hunter-Gatherer skin is disliked. Just like Graffiti, obviously. There's only one skin that's somewhat decent. And still, Ali Sharmoose wins with 83.95%. Regarding Ombre, in 2025-2026, a new skin was released, Ombre Chevaleresque, and this one is in third place. But the leader for Ombre is still Ombre Ice Queen. Although she lost some votes to Chevaleresque, she's still leading. Boulet de Baston remains second. The worst skin is clearly Ombre Diabolique, with just 1.95% of the votes. I don't know who the crazy people are who voted for that skin, but there will always be some crazy people who like any skin. Also, be aware there will be a little bit of trolling in this video. I can imagine, I know you guys, Angelo, it's a close call between two skins. Angelo Tengu is very popular. He still has 44% of the votes, but there's a second one that's also quite well liked. And you'll see they took all the votes, really all of them, since he has almost 40% of the votes. It's Dionysus. I'm still pretty shocked, the Valentine's Day skins, except for the original skin, so Saint Brelantin, which has almost 8%. Otherwise, all the others are terrible. They don't even have 1%. Otherwise, of course, the ugliest skin is the default skin, the Angelo Elf skin. I don't think I need to explain more. For Ash, the worst one is Sandcastle. Only 1% of the votes. Let me tell you, that's really disastrous. I don't know if people realize, but that means that 1%, that means only 10 people voted for that skin. So let me tell you, there are some crazy people who like that skin. I'm still surprised Ash Krampus is ranked so low. For the top 3, Ash Pizzaiolo is at 10% and Ash Ninja still has 20%. And the first one, you'll see that the skins that are collaborations, especially with Clash of Clans or Clash Royale, are always way ahead. And that's good, because PK Ash still has over 40% of the votes. But I'm really surprised that Ash Adventurer didn't get more votes than that. Honestly, that skin is a real masterclass. And in terms of value for money, it's really good, isn't it? Back in the day on Bartaba, there was a skin that was dominating everything. It had over 65% of the votes last year. It was simply Kung Fu Master. This year, it's still in first place, but only with 47%. So where did the votes go? We already have Bartaba Buccaneer, who got a few more votes, so that skin has climbed up high. Maybe people know it a bit better now too, but above all, we have Professor Tentacle, this one, which has really gone up as well. It moved up to second place with 22% special mention to Scarlet Sorcerer, which only received 6 votes. Maybe, as we'll see in this video, a skin might get 0 votes. It's possible, you know. Well, we almost get that with B, since B the Ladybug only got 4 votes. Yeah, it's hitting rock bottom, but B Necodore is still B's best skin, as it has been for years. Second and third places are much more debated. For example, we have Scarabée at 13%, Activist B at 17%, Supervillain B at 9%, and finally Vampire B at almost 21%. But it's true that for B, we still don't have the Masterclass skin yet, I feel like. Except for Necodore B, but I feel like it's not unanimous. For Belle, I was pretty surprised. The one that won last year was Draconic Belle with almost 50%. We have a mythic skin for Belle called Golden Hand Belle. This year it's only at 24%. So is the skin good or just rare and getting votes for that? I'll let you decide. But this year they released another new skin, which was Night Belle, and this one actually took the place of Draconic Belle, and not by a small margin since it got 41.51% of the votes. Honorable mention. And now, listen to this. Plant Bell only got 8 votes out of 1,000 people. And wait, that's not all because Beach Bell only got 1 vote. So there's one crazy person who liked Beach Bell. Tell me it was a troll. For the other skins, well, it's not great. Coral Bell got 14 votes. We're not going to go into all the details, but yeah, it's catastrophic. Our first real battle happens with Berry. First, we have the Stranger Things collab skin. It still got 17% of the votes. Probably Stranger Things fans, don't worry. Actually, Berry didn't come out that long ago, just over a year, and Star Stallion was the first masterclass skin they released. This one ended up with 38%. And you'll see that it's just barely beaten by another skin. It's simply Berry Pegasus. 40.80%, our first real battle. For Billy, there are a lot of skins. Many skins only received about 1% of the votes, with around 10 people choosing them. This includes Billy Chewing Gum and all the Vigilante Pass skins, Chroma or not. They're all pretty wild. Don Billy, Torturer, or even Hergy. Anyway, there are a lot. You might be wondering, the one from Toy Story, where does it stand? Only 6% of the votes. We're moving up with Cursed Pirate at 11% Billy, Heroic is at 21% Billy, Thor might seem like the winner, but it's only at 22%, which is still pretty good for second place. And the first one is Billy, Gamer, 26%, a close match, but at least now you know which one is considered the most valuable by the community. Turbo, that's a tough one. There are I don't know how many skins, and a lot of the skins are extremely popular, especially the Tarcher Pass skins. They were actually quite popular. I didn't expect to see them ranked so high. The Mecha skins, especially Golden Mecha and Light Mecha, are top choices. Even regular Mecha gets about 5%. But since votes are spread out, it's not that bad. We still find a good bunch of skins at 7%. Arjuna, Hu, and also King Arche. But the first one, it's like last year. It's the same winner. It's Buru. But this time, he only has 14%. The votes are much more spread out. Last year for Bonnie, there was a battle between Tentacular and Empress. You should know that Tentacular completely collapsed. She remains third, pretty close to Bonnie Queen. But on the other hand, there's another battle still with Empress. This time, it's Icar. Icar wins by a very small margin. But with Empress, you can see that over time, things are evolving pretty well. And I find this ranking super interesting. You can see the popularity of skins over the years. And some skins, they don't lose that much popularity. Brock, there are a lot of skins already. Many skins have been forgotten. But I noticed a few interesting little things. For example, all the Super Rangers, no matter the color, don't get a lot of votes. Except for Brock Black Super Ranger, he has almost 67 times more votes than the other colors. Who knows why Brock Black Super Ranger has so many more votes than the others? It's still a mystery. Only the color changes, and while Brock has many skins, just 3 really stand out with one far ahead. The third is Brock in Union, likely because it's an exclusive rare skin. Second is Boss Brock, with 15% of the votes. And the first one is Brock Dust, with a huge 38% of the votes. I'm actually pretty surprised that there aren't more votes for Rocket Brand, which looks like this. It's a Line Friends skin. I expected it to get a lot more votes. It's even further behind, especially Brock Black Super Ranger. Bull is similar to all the skins, with only 3 really standing out. Bull Hopper is 4th with 9.5%, B800 is 3rd at 11%, and Pulsifer is at nearly 15%. And most importantly, the first one is Bull Minotaur with 30%. He crushed the competition. We even have this Super Bull skin that got fewer votes than the default skin. Yeah, that's rough. Buster, I think his skins are mostly balanced, though some stand out. Buster Biker isn't liked, but the rest are generally appreciated. Crocodile and Benny are nearly tied, with Benny just ahead. But on the other hand, at over 50%. And that's huge, I agree. Equilibrium is way ahead, but there isn't any really disastrous result. However, with Buzz, there are some disastrous things. First, I expected Fisherman Buzz to rank higher, but he only got 6% of the votes. It's one of the few Supercell ID skins with a low rating. He still finished in 7th place, which isn't high. Ahead of him are Bad Boy and Buzz Patrick. Patrick is stylish and reminds us of good times. It's a bit unfair for the Fenrir skin since there are several versions from the past. Chroma, Normal, etc. If combined, they'd be first, but each skin is counted separately. They're all in 5th, 4th place, around there. For the Godzilla skins, it's kind of the same thing. You should know that Red Godzilla is less liked. It only has 4% of the votes. On the other hand, if you take the regular Godzilla, it has 11% of the votes. And if you look at Black Godzilla, it has 22.35% of the votes. You should know that the black skins have a lot more votes than the others. That's an interesting stat. For Byron, I have something to say. We saw all the beach skins. There were some disastrous results. That's still the case for Byron. Only 7 people voted for this one, just to remind you, out of 1,000 people. So please, stop with the beach skins. It's disastrous. However, here, there's actually a pretty rare phenomenon because there are just a few votes separating 2 skins. And they're the top 2. The second one is Byron Subway Surfer. So that's Byron Mr. Frank. We have Byron Mr. Loyal. And this one is first. Like I told you, it's hanging by a thread. Now, which skin will really come out on top in the long run? It's going to be interesting to see that in the coming years, but there are other brawlers where skin preferences don't change. For example, Carl. Last year, Carl Sultan was first, but this year it's still the same. And I want to tell you that even when it comes to skins, it's exactly the same ranking, with a few small differences, of course, but nothing has changed. For Charlie, I have to talk about this disaster. How is it that Charlie was released a few years ago and she only has 4 skins? That's unfair. They added some skins this year, but they're not great. Still, she got second place with nearly 10%. But you should know 10% is small compared to Charlie Virus, who has nearly 80% of the votes. At the same time, I have to say that's pretty normal. Chester. There are 3 skins within 20 votes of each other, so any could have taken first place. It's very close. Last year, Lunar Guardian was your favorite, but this time it's third. Your second choice last year, though, was Chester Uno. That's still the case, but the first one, it was third last year. Yeah, you guessed it, it's Chester Loki. But like I said, with just a 20 vote difference, I guess we can allow a small margin of error. For Chuck, at least 1.8% of the votes went to that skin. It's awful. I don't even understand compared to the Masterclass skins we could have. Well, maybe not Masterclass, but they're still much better looking than that old skin. 33% for Electroid. Still, 62% for Chuck Scorpion. Honestly, there's no way to compete. Please make some skins for Clancy. How has this brawler been around so long with just 2 skins? People are so unsure they even voted 18% for the default skin. There are barely any skins. Kaiju Clancy is the clear winner with 75%. Honestly, you can't really vote for much else. But it makes me laugh because Gambler Clancy, which is technically a skin, is much less liked than the default skin. Yeah, even here, Clancy doesn't get any respect. Let's see about Colette. Have your tastes changed? Well, honestly, not really. Honestly, Controller and Gladiator are still pretty well liked, but they're not first. Kawaii is second, just like last year. And the top skin is still evil. Yep, by a long shot. Your tastes really haven't changed. Now, I can't wait to see a new skin for Colette to shake things up a bit. Colt has a ton of skins, so we'll spend a bit more time here. First of all, there are all the soccer team skins. Just so you know, they're not liked at all. But do many people even know about them? That could be another reason. Most skins like Atlético Nacional have just 2 votes. Club America has 3 and River Plate has 2. And even Outlaw Colt has more votes with 4 votes. Then there's a bunch of skins that are around 5%, and of course it gets really tight. I'm surprised Royal Agent ranks so low. I expected its exclusive rarity to matter more, but it's good we're judging mainly by appearance, not rarity, though there's an exception to that. Since Challenger Colt is definitely the skin you're going to like the most, at the same time, it's got a certain flow too, and it's extremely rare. It has 25% of the votes, so of course it's first. The second one is Corsair Colt, and this one, no, it's not rare, it comes back every summer. Still, it has 13% of the votes. We still have some honorable mentions that are nearly at 10%. Notably Hyperion, which is the Brawl Pass skin, and Woody Colt, the famous collaboration with Toy Story. Crow has a new skin that just arrived, and it's in the Challengers. It's Propus's skin, and there's one that you really like a lot. It's Haunted Dragon Crow. It's the famous light block that looks like this. This one has almost 13%. And of course, it gets edged out by the other Brawl Pass skins like Draco Crow or even Draconian Crow. You should know that the Mecha Crow skins aren't actually that popular. I thought they'd be more. The most liked one is Night Mecha Crow with 8%, but that's not a lot, because we also have Lunar Guardian. At the same time, I have to say it's amazing, 15% of the votes. Plague Doctor still has 10%, it was a Brawl Pass skin, while the other Brawl Pass skins are much less liked, they're at 3 and 2%. This one is much more appreciated than the others, even though, once again, it's just the color that changes. And the most liked skin, I think you can guess, is Phoenix Crow. That doesn't change, it remains the best skin, the Monument of Crow with 25%, but be careful because the Brawl Pass skin is starting to catch up. Back then, let's remember that Phoenix Crow had 41% and Lunar Guardian 29%. That's almost been cut in half. On Cordelis, we still have a little anomaly. Since Paper Cordelis, which is a higher rarity skin than Odin Cordelis, but it ends up in second place. Odin Cordelis is well ahead of Paper Cordelis, and the others are far behind. Daryl, we have a new leader. Back then, there was a big fight between Daryl Plankton, the collaboration skin, and D4R Daryl. Now, D4R is far ahead of Daryl Plankton, who is actually competing with Daryl Megabot. Not sure what he's doing there, maybe because he's rare. Steam Daryl has dropped a bit. The skin is still nice, but it's mostly due to its rarity. And the real first place, by quite a margin, is Sheepish Daryl. Jin's fans, this is for you. Last year, a lot of people didn't really like the ranking where Cursed Samurai was chosen by more than 50%. Just know that Cursed Samurai is still in first place, but this time he has 60%. Yes, he actually gained some votes. Jin Dumal is in second place with 21%. And for the true fans of Jin, this might hurt because even Angel Jin is at 7%. Swamp Jin is only at 4%. And the famous Pirate Jin, which was also a little mythic skin, one of the first pirate skins, is also at 4%. But what about this famous skin? Personally, I find it funny. But it only has 1%. It's not really liked. Last year for Doug, there was no debate. Pirate Doug was way ahead. Well, listen, that has really changed. In any case, be careful. But there are a lot more skins now. For example, this new skin, Dynastic Doug, still has 12% of the votes. But the one that surprised me is Night Doug. He has 38% of the votes. And the first one is still Manor Doug with almost 40%. But again, there are only a few votes separating them. Back then, Dracora had more than 82% of the votes. Now there's a new skin, Draco Eddie. He has almost 20%. But I'd really like someone to explain to me how it's possible that Black Knight has so many votes. 10% seems huge to me compared to the masterclass skins we have, especially Dracora, who now has 67%. But how can so many votes, almost 100 votes, go to this poor skin? I think it's the 29th most liked skin in Brawl Stars. How is that possible? For Dynamic, there are still a few little masterclass skins. Boomer Dynamic, 2 votes. Classic Dynamic, 3 votes. Firecracker Wizard, 4 votes. The ranking literally changed with the release of a skin, and you'll find out soon. Last year, it was especially Tengu Dinamica who was the big winner. Tengu Dinamica is now downgraded to 2nd place, and by quite a margin. Still, it has 14%. But as for new skins, there's one that really made its mark. Over 12% for Ghoul Dynamic, which is kind of new, and above all, the first place has 20%. But then who is it? Simply Phantom Dynamic from the Pro Pass. And honestly, it's extremely popular. I didn't expect it to be this popular, but at the same time, we didn't have the Masterclass skin for Dynamic. Maybe we found it now, huh? The Brawler you've all been waiting for, Edgar? So, what's the situation? Honestly, there's not much debate. You'll find out quickly. I know, you're waiting for Edgar Blackbird. He has 22 votes. Edgar's mecha skins, they're not that popular. Altogether, it doesn't even go over 12%. Edgar Rocky, not even 10%. But we have Thief Edgar, 18%, and now it's starting to get interesting. Edgar's over-the-top skins, they're not even on the podium, you know? And yes, Night Hero and Sun Hero, they're at 8 and 9%, not enough for the podium. The real first place is Fallen Angel Edgar, with over 28%. I didn't think there would be such a big gap. For me, Sun Hero and Night Hero are still pretty cool. They're not even on the podium. They still preferred Rocky Edgar over that one. But hey, it's your choice. For El Costo, there are 4 skins that really stand out. First, let's talk about Baby Shark. It's in 5th place, but it's not that far behind either. 4th place is El Brown, coming in at 10%. El Tigro is at 14%. And 1st place, just like before, is El Quarterback. But on the other hand, we have the SpongeBob one, which still comes in 2nd at 18%. So there are really 4 that truly stand out. The rest are way below. I don't think EMZ really has any masterclass skins. And by the way, there's a new skin that made its way into this ranking. And honestly, it deserved it. Since it comes in 2nd, almost first, it's Streetwear EMZ. The first one is still Demon EMZ, but only at 20%. Actually, you have Superfan and Gorgon, which are almost tied at 11%, so they still get quite a few votes. And then, of course, the rest still get some as well. Regarding Emery, Nightmare Emery is well ahead at 40%. Hypnosis, which is also making its debut in the ranking, is almost at 30%. And Lantern Emery rounds out the top 3 with 10%. The other skins, especially Brawl Pass ones with Medusa, total under 6%. The rest perform terribly. Energize doesn't even reach 1%. For me, we have 3 skins that are true masterclasses: Extraterrestrial, Mothra, and F-Biker. And of course, these 3 make the podium. Even though F-Crack, the Brawl Pass skin from back then, has actually improved quite a bit compared to last time, but Extraterrestrial rounds out the top 3. F-Mothra is in 2nd place, still with 25%. And F-Biker is way ahead, at 42%. I didn't expect such a big gap between the top 2, especially since F-Mothra, well, it was Godzilla. It was a golden era, let's say. It's a real masterclass, isn't it? For Fank, I'm quite surprised by the ranking. I didn't expect such a big gap between 1st and 2nd place. First Fank as fans has 10%. I think the skin is nice, but it doesn't really deserve that many votes. Pumpkin Fank still almost 16%. Personally, I'm not really a fan, but the first one still surprised me quite a bit. It's Computer Genius, 25% of the votes. I wasn't really expecting such a big gap. That he'd be in the top 3, yes, definitely, but not such a big difference. Fanks, one of the rare skins where there are other choices. And the most popular one is Fanks Mecha with 54%. Fanks Mecha Leader has 17%, so more than half and by a good margin. And Fanks Scarlet, same thing, it's more than half, 20%. Whereas Jurassic with only 2%, yeah. For Fank, I'm shocked. For me, those 2 skins were easily the top ones. And if we add up those 2 skins, they come out on top, but just barely. I really didn't think Headless Knight was that popular. 33% of the votes. Considering we still have Blue King and Red King, they're masterclass for me, and way ahead. On the other hand, the other skins, I don't even know if we should talk about them or not, but they're disastrous. They didn't get any votes. The Headless Knight skins and Frank Roy's skins got all the buzz. They didn't leave anything for the others. Another little masterclass from Frank Parasol with only 3 votes. I have to say it, the beach skins are terrible. Please don't bring out that kind of skin again. If I see that again, I'm going to get mad. Gale, the real question is, will rarity surpass beauty? You can see it coming. Gale Marchand is definitely one of the rarest skins. It was the first skin from the Brawl Pass. This one, of course, you had to pay for it, otherwise a lot of people would have had it. Will it surpass the other skins, which are also very beautiful? Just so you know, there's a tie. It's very rare to have a tie out of 1,000 votes. There is a perfect tie between the 2nd and the 3rd, so for the 2nd place, there's a perfect tie. But is it Gale Marchand? Gale Marchand is in 1st place. But be careful, he's really not that far ahead. He's in 1st with exactly 25.95%. And the 2 tied for 2nd place are SOS Quick and Gale's new skin, Steampunk. For Gigi, we're actually going to see the importance of colors. For example, the favorite is Hyvernal at 37%. And just because of the colors, Autonail is last with 23%. Chloe, listen, there's only one skin. It's Birthclot and the default skin. I don't think we can do it. Obviously, it's Birthclot. There's no point in showing you the stats. Birthclot wins by a wide margin. On Grey, we have a magnificent battle. A few skins have been added, especially Grey Ronin, which was there during Kenji's event, and so it makes its way onto the podium. But in which place? First of all, one of the very first skins, Detective by Luke. Indeed, it's in third place. At the time, it was second and by a wide margin. The first was Gigantophis. Back then, it had almost 60%. Today, it has 29.38%. But is that enough to be first? No, because Ronin leads with 30%. The top three are very close. Just 30 more votes for one skin would have put it in first. Last year, Griff didn't have many skins when we made this video. And the first was Sunken Chest with 33%. Now there are the Brawl Pass skins that have been added, including Draconic Griff and Chromacessine. Chromacessine doesn't have any buzz. Not at all. Meanwhile, Draconic Griff still holds 18%, which is interesting. Ice Core and Intergalactic closely follow, and Slay Griff rounds out the top three. But the first one, you might have guessed, is still Sunken Chest with the same gap, 33%. Well, Grom, not much debate. Protector Grom, 52%. He's still followed by a new skin, Draconic Grom, 22%. It's a legendary skin that should be pointed out, and a legendary skin is actually beaten by an epic skin. Yes, this skin with 52% is only epic. The most interesting thing about all this is that even the mythic skin, Ravana Grom, is much less appreciated, only 9%. Gus, we did get a few smaller skins, but they're not great. Gus Will, the collaboration with Stranger Things, is at 9%. It's almost a flop. Gus Glock is at 6%, not worth mentioning. Gus Little Devil is second with 12%. And the first one is way ahead, since it's Gus World Champion at 67%. Even Gus Coot, a little honorable mention for him for a 29 gem skin. It's actually pretty masterclass, I think. It only has 1.89%. I have to admit, I feel a bit sorry for him, honestly. For Ankh, it looks like there are only 3 skins, judging by the chart. We have Ankh Rodeo coming in third. Remember, it's a mythic skin. In second place, it's a super rare skin. Just to show you that rarity doesn't always mean beauty, Lunar Guardian comes in at 33%, but the first place goes back to a mythic skin. And it's the skin from the collaboration with that handsome surfer. Even though this one isn't actually part of the collaboration, be careful, it just came out at the same time. So you can get it right now in the catalog, even though we've learned it's going to be removed, and it comes in first at 38%. Tacky, back then, that was in 2025, there was a debate. You can see there were a lot of skins at 20%, 10%, and so on. That's really over now, since only 2 skins remain in the 10% range. Ultra Foryus at 11% and Mollusk at nearly 15%. Back then, those two were on top, but they've been overtaken by a new skin, Chevaleresse, at 46%. Now, there's no doubt it's the leader. It was released nearly 6 years after the Brawler, proving a strong comeback is still possible, which I think is cool. As for Jeong, nothing needs to be done. There's only one skin, so it's obvious that it's the favorite. As for Janet, from second to fourth place, it's extremely close. And all the other skins, well, they're kind of lame. Even Popstar, which seemed popular given how often we've seen it in YouTube videos, isn't that popular after all, only 4.5. Janet Tricky is fourth with 18%. The Janet Valkyrie skin is third with only 3 more votes. And with 6 more votes, once again, Luna Janet is second. The top skin is Firewing Janet, which is clearly dominating this time. Back then, there was a bit more debate. And now, since it adds another skin, the Sobo and Surfer one, there's even more debate about Janet's skins. In any case, they're not that bad. For Jessie, I'm pretty surprised. You see, we have that famous super slidey skin, Musketeer Jessie. I thought it would be a hit since it's pretty new. Well, it's only in 4th place with 9%. There were so many skins that votes were scattered, but 3 skins still stood out. The third one, well, it's Mecha Jessie, which is also new. But the Mecha skins really knocked out a lot of other skins this time, since there are 3 of them. And by the way, the regular Mecha is much more popular than the others, especially Copper Mecha, which only has 2%. The SpongeBob skin is only at 5%. It's not much more popular than that either. Scatty is in second place with over 17% of the votes. And finally, Cat Burglar is first with 20%. For Juju, the Brawler came out quite a while ago, and there aren't many skins. Of course, the only nice-looking skin, Queen Juju, is way ahead. Almost 90%, I just call that a blowout. For K's, no debate, almost 90% for K's and Carrion, that seems obvious to me. For Kenji, you know, there were the Brawl Pass skins, all those Brawl Pass skins, they're all pretty bad. Really, none of them go over 5%, but there are 3 that stand out a bit. First, you have Kenji Kizu. Let's say it's okay, it's nice. 12.77%, but be careful since the top 2 are still far ahead. Kenji Manga has 30% and Kenji Oni leads with 39%. I feel like all the skins like Grerin and all the skins from that event anyway, they're always ranked pretty well. Here are the famous kits. Well, there are a lot of skins that are horrible. Let's not lie, they're disgusting. Calico only has 2 votes, so let's move on. It's not very interesting. I'm surprised the past skins have so many votes. Kid Boxer has over 18% and Chroma skins aren't bad. John has 7%, while Pat Sombra has over 16%, double John's. The differences between some chroma skins are bigger than I expected. Personally, I don't think these skins are great. The best looking skin, and we all agree on this, is Kid Rogue, and it has almost 36% of the votes. For Larry Laurie, a new legendary skin came out a few days ago. Is it well liked? Well, let's find out. First, the Angel skins for Larry Laurie receive 15% of the votes. Angel and Obscure in the same category have nearly 30% combined and are the top choices. The second place, which you might not expect, is a ranked skin. Larry Laurie bugged at 25%. When you look at the other percentages, you quickly realize that this new one isn't the most popular. It only has 18%. Honestly, I expected more, so it's only in third place. I didn't think bugged was so popular. Leon. And now, there could be some changes because a Pro Pass skin just came out. And honestly, it's not that bad. So, will there really be a change? First, let's look at the more mythic skins. For Phantom, only 4.62. Not a lot. You could call this esports skin a failure even though it's a finalist. They can make masterclass skins, but this one flopped and only got 6%. It was new, but now the hype is gone. Are mecha skins interesting? Not really. The most popular one is Obscure, and it's not even the regular one. As for Leon Cat, Dino Furry, Sally, there really aren't any votes for them, I'm sorry. On the other hand, the Pro Pass skin, there are several skins. That's the problem. There are chroma skins, regular skins. And the skin that has the most votes is Leon Tracker. It has 11%, and you'll see that it's still pretty far off, because even if you add up all the Pro Pass skins, it just barely reaches the level of the first one. The second one is Leon White Wolf, which has almost 19%, and the first one, Leon Werewolf, of course, has more than 19%. For Lily, there's a skin that is absolutely not up for debate. No, it's not Sand Bandit, which got just 11% of the votes. Angel is second with only a few more votes. Nidus leads by a wide margin with over 62%. Lulu made me laugh because in 2025 we had this chart, and in 2026 it's nearly the same, just a 23% difference across all skins. I think that's amazing. At the same time, it's not like she got any amazing skins for her in the meantime, or even if there were any skins at all. The best skin for Lulu gave up its crown to another one, so already in 2025 the ranking was pretty close. There were really only 3 skins that stood out. Burger was in 4th place, we had Cheeky Wolf. There was a bit more buzz back then, maybe it had just come out at the time. And when a skin is new, of course, we have the visual in mind. It's more striking, let's say, so maybe we prefer it just because it's new. And now it has dropped by a few percentage points. 16.89%, Stone Brawl 31%, and above all, the best skin is Luru. At the same time, maybe it's the oldest. It's the most iconic, 36%. So we realized that the Stranger Things strategy isn't really working because the 11 skin from the Brawl Pass only has 21% and the Chroma skins are a disaster. Less than 7%, so it's almost insignificant. Even Dark Knightus has more than those Chromas, 18% for Dark Knightus. That might be a bit much, but the most popular Lumi skin is Lumi Persephone, and yet it's only a super rare skin. It's really nothing special. For Maisie, there's a skin that was just added, Draconic Maisie. So does it take the place of the very first skin, which let's remember was Manga Maisie? No, that's not the case. Manga Maisie is still in first place by quite a bit at 34%. However, Draconic Maisie takes a nice second place with 22%. There are also some new skins for Maisie. There was the mecha season where actually Maisie's skins were in the spotlight. It was the Brawl Pass skin. And you'll see that there's something pretty funny because Maisie's basic mecha skin has almost 10%. And it's not the most liked at all. Because the most liked skin has twice as many votes. That's Shadow Mecha. It's one of Maisie's most popular skins, but it's not first, it's only second. As for which, you might be wondering, it's third. The Supercell ID skin still always gets good results, but it's rarely first in the end. So which skin is first for Maisie? Well, it's Maisie Carnival with 22%. Now for Max, I need some explanations. I really didn't get it here. You know, Max got an esports skin this year. That's Max du Mondial. Honestly, I don't think the skin looks good. Let's be honest, I really don't think it looks good at all. Well, it's first. Esports Max has 28% of the votes. Last year, it was Max Angel that won. It's still second. Mais il a 22%. Il y a quand même presque a difference of 70 votes. Honestly, that's pretty huge, but I don't understand how that skin can be first, especially since Max Angel isn't that bad. In third place, we have Max Street. Honestly, it's a basic skin, but it really does the job. And the worst part is, it's a super rare skin. And right after that, we have Max Hermes. Same thing, it's a super rare skin that really does the job. Still with 14% of the votes. Honestly, for Max, there are skins that aren't that expensive and look really nice. For Maydor, first place was decided by only 6 votes. But before that, we had Teen Maydor, and it's in 4th place with 10%. The third skin this year, just so you know, last year it was in 1st place. It's Maydor Sea Dog. It has 22%. Careful, that's really not bad since it's separated by about 70 votes. In 2nd place, we have Maydor Ronin. It's kind of a mythic skin. It was a Brawl Pass skin. You can understand it's because of its rarity. Now, is it really good looking? There you go, you put it in this spot. The first skin, last year it was in 2nd place, so it lost some percentage of votes, etc., but it's still in 1st place. At the same time, there are other skins that have been added. It's Maydor at Tep 2 with 24.57%. That's only a 6-vote difference with Maydor the Dwarf. Well, for Meeple, we're not going to keep you in suspense. I think you can clearly see with this histogram 90% of the votes. That's a real blowout, almost 93% even. Mystic Meeple, to be fair, honestly, it's nice. Another brawler where the stats are really crazy is Meg. Almost 72% of people voted Megalodon as the nicest skin. The worst part is that Megmata still got 10%, and the other skins got nothing at all. Megalodon crushed the competition. For Melody, there's one skin that really stood out. Otherwise, they're all almost at 10% each. I'm pretty surprised, honestly. It's super balanced. There's only one skin that's really bad. That's Melody Sif. So, we'll put that one aside. It's terrible. You know, Melody is part of a Brawl Pass with Melody Pop. There were different colors. Well, all those skins have almost 10% more or less. Melody Pop, which is the default skin, has 14%. Melody Pop but red and black is at 16%, so that one is way above. And the least liked is Melody Pop green and black, which only has 8%. Melody Fitness, a relatively new skin, is at 10%. That's actually not bad for that skin. Melody Inflatable also, which will be released in April. At the time I'm making this video, it should normally be out at 12.98%, which is less than Melody Pop. And on the other hand, the skin that comes in first is Melody Harpy by a wide margin since it has 31%. Miko, there's not much debate. There's only one skin that's really stunning. It's Miko Wukong, which has over 80%. The rest, well, they're kind of lackluster. Mina already has several skins for a new brawler. First, there are 3 mythic pre-skins from the well-known Mina boxes. And the favorite of these 3 is Mina Ice Core, which still has over 30%. And it's the favorite, though Mina Dance is also quite appreciated since it still has 24%. Queen of Sound is a bit higher, 26%. While Graffiti and Fairy, well, they don't go over 7%. It's not great. Moe's, it's the same thing but worse. Since Luna Mophoros holds 91.5% and dominates the market, Mokonte won't change anything. The skin looks bad, I have to repeat, sorry. Mr. M is one of the brawlers whose results surprised me. Let's drop Mr. Moose, it's horrible. All the skins are over 10%, and honestly, that's pretty surprising. First, we have Agent M. I didn't think a rare skin would be this high in the ranking. It still has 11%. I remember it's just a rare skin, 29 gems. It's just behind Campingula, but really by very, very little. Same, 11.9%. Mr. Daruma is third at 18%. The Mr. M Muska skin is at 19%, a new skin. And the first one is Mr. M Dragon Fruit at over 34%. He really dominates the market, but you have to admit the others aren't that bad either. For Mortis, so, which skin should you play if you want to have the best looking skin according to the community? First of all, the SpongeBob skins are out. They're all under 5%. I didn't expect that much. You might say the over-the-top skins, like the demon and devil themed ones. And yeah, you're right. The most popular one is the demon skin. It's this one at 15%. This time, the esports skin isn't really appreciated. Only 7.27%. Mortis Ruin, I won't even mention it with 5%. And honestly, the rest aren't that great. There's one category that stands out quite a bit in the polls, and that's the mecha category. And here, all 3 mecha skins are over 10%. Which is huge considering the number of Mortis skins. First, we have Light Mecha, which is the least popular. It has 10%. The regular Mecha Mortis skin has over 13%. And the most popular skin is Shadow Mecha at 17%. It even beats out the Hypercharged skin. For Agia, obviously, there isn't much. So, you picked Code Periado, but I see you sneaky ones who picked the default skin. I'll remember that. For Nani, I think we can agree. There are 2 skins that are really nice. Noble Nani and Aries. Which one will win? Which one is actually ahead in this histogram? Noble Nani at 26%. And the first one is Ares Nani with over 54%. Nita, just know that the first one is way ahead. However, the second, third, and fourth are almost tied. But when I say almost tied, we're talking about only 5 votes separating the 3. So basically, that's nothing at all. Let's start with the fourth one, which isn't on the podium. It's just Nita Dustin from the Stranger Things collaboration, but it's still 15%. For me, it's not the best skin, so I get why it's fourth. I didn't expect it to be so close though, since the third is a legendary skin, Nita Evoa. The second is new, an April Fool's skin called Nita Bruce, where they switch roles. It's really funny and deserves its spot. The first, as you might guess, is Mecha Godzilla. Honestly, for me, the ranking is just perfect. Even though, watch out, Ruicho, we can mention him, because last year he was simply third. He dropped way down. He only has 3% of the votes, so he's really far behind now. For Ollie, well, it's a battle between 2 skins. First, we have Ollie Jake and Farah Ollie, these 2 skins. So which one is going to be first? Well, it's simply Farah Ollie. He has 54%. Ollie Jake ends up with 39%. There's still a pretty good gap, but both skins are really nice. You can quickly see it by the number of votes. I love looking at these graphs and the height differences between columns. They're incredible. For Otis, there was a bit of a fight for third place, but unfortunately Demon will come in fourth and Farah Otis will come in third. So who are the top 2? Once again, we can see that this event is really appreciated. Otis only comes in second. People really like that event and the theme in general. The first place goes to Otis Winner, another esports skin. For Pam, the race for first place was pretty close. Pam Negotiator still comes in third. For a skin of that value, honestly, that's a good result. The April Fool's skin comes in second, but still with almost 36% of the votes. And we can see that the April Fool's skins, like the one for Nita that we just saw, are all ranked pretty well. But in first place, it's still a legendary skin. It's Pam Evil Queen. That skin has been appreciated for a long time. And just as a little anecdote to show you the effect of novelty, last year there was exactly the same poll, and Pam Egg had almost 50% while Pam Evil Queen had 30%. This year, we can see that Pam Evil Queen has taken the lead again, so new things do bring some buzz, yes, but it doesn't last in the long run. That's why Pam Evil Queen is getting her place back. This year, we got a new skin for Pearl. It's Porcelain Pearl. And that's perfect because the novelty effect is working once again. Porcelain Pearl is first with 36%, but will she still be first next year? Maybe, but I doubt it. Pearl Ambulante is in second place with 35%. In third place, we have Pearl Periscope with 23%. Now we're discussing an interesting brawler whose ranking has changed a lot. When Penny Pop was released, she had 28%, followed by Smuggler, and several skins at 10%. Now that's completely changed because a new skin came out, Penny Queen of Archers. And as you can see, she got the biggest share of the votes. More than 45% of people voted for Penny Queen of Archers. You can clearly see that the novelty effect of Penny Pop has really faded since she only has 12% now. That's almost as much as Penny Smuggler. Then, the other skins, I have to say, are pretty insignificant. Pierce, it's just another recolor. Vampire Hunter, that's the favorite. Honestly, I wasn't expecting that, but still, 42%. Pierce Chamber is your least favorite at 18%. A significant gap. Pierce Bold falls in between at 31%. Poco, it made me laugh because the first time I saw the ranking, I thought nothing has changed. But actually, yes, something has changed. There's DJ Poco. His skins didn't exist before. And he took the second place instead of Poco Desperado. And you're going to ask me, but where is Poco Desperado? So compared to 2025, be careful, Poco Desperado only has 7%, which means he dropped a lot. Video Surveillance is third with a pretty good ratio. He moved down to fourth, same thing, he dropped a lot. In favor of a new skin, Poco Scratcher. Yes, a super flashy skin, Poco didn't have one before. In the end, his ranking changed a lot. And yet, if you just look at the two charts like that, apart from the colors, nothing changes. It's still basically the same little pie chart. In 2025, your favorite skins for Piper were Athena, then Mariposa, then Lunaire in third place. Has that changed since Piper also got some mecha skins? Well, actually, yes, it has changed. At least not the first one because the top skin for Piper is still Athena at 20%. But you can see that the percentage has definitely gone down. Obviously, the votes went a bit all over the place, and that's mainly because of the mecha skins, which is exactly why the percentages are so low. The second one is Mecha Lotus, still with 17.41%. The other mecha skins also have a good percentage, 9 and 7%, and you can see that's half as much. Mariposa is third though, still with 14%. Polyluna is therefore behind the mecha skins, and Polycarnival is even further behind Polyluna. Anyway, you get the idea. As for RT, there's a small debate that's pretty interesting. RT Gargoyle, no, is not the first. It still has 30%, which isn't that bad, but RT Poseidon is still way ahead with almost 45% of the votes, and RT Purple, the Brawl Pass skin from back then, has 21% and takes the last spot on the podium. Ricochet, I think the people have spoken. 40% for Ricochet of the Blinks, a super flashy skin. You really have a preference. Still, it's not like there aren't some more understated skins for Ricochet. The second one with only 10% is Diver Rico. Honestly, it's a nice skin. And the third one with exactly 10% is Rich Cochet. And we can see that people really don't care about rarity, since Rich Cochet Clintwood, which is an ultra rare skin, exclusive and one of the rarest skins, only got 20 votes. So about that, I'm pretty happy. You guys are subjective. If you like it, you click on what you prefer, and not necessarily based on rarity. By the way, it's pretty funny, one of the last skins from the Brawl Pass was Ricochet Rupture, and there was also Ricochet Revenge. Just so you know, they didn't even get more than 10 votes. So the novelty effect doesn't work for everything. If the skin is ugly, it doesn't work. As for Rosa, we're almost at a tie, both for first place and also for third place. Let's start from the end. Sunflower, that's at the very bottom. The skin is disgusting. It's dead last with 1% of the votes. So let's go up a bit if you don't mind. Shirley Dews is fourth with 15%, but with just a little more than 10 votes difference, so it's really not much. We have Rosa Major with 16%, which puts her in third place. So who's first? It's between Rosa Sweet and Rosa Halloween, and Rosa Halloween is first, 23.30. Against Rosa Sweet, there's only a 5-vote difference. That's nothing at all. Honestly, I want to say Rosa really needs a nice skin, because right now, yeah, it's barely any competition. If a nice skin comes out for Rosa, in my opinion, she'll be at 50% and everyone else will be at 5%. We have 6 skins, and out of those 6 skins, honestly, 5 of them aren't bad at all. So, I'm sorry, the ugliest skin is Sam Teddy Bear. That's what the votes say, not me. In 5th place, we have Sam Yeti, 11%. 4th place, Sam Olmert, 12%. Clown Foe ends up in 3rd place. And 1st place goes to a Supercell make skin, Sam Spectaculator. So Sam Caesar is 2nd, and honestly it was really close. Well, it was between 2 skins. We have Shade Teddy Bear at 39%. And Shade Astrid with more than 55%. I feel like everything that's a bit street style, you know, dresses a bit like us. You see a bit of Edgar in human mode, Max Street, Shake Street, things like that, I want to say. It works pretty well in Brawl Stars. With Shelly, there's already a record. There's only one vote for Shelly America. At the same time, it's the skin that everyone kind of forgets about. Yet these are skins you can't buy anymore. They're really rare skins, but there's only one vote for that skin. And there are so many skins that we're going to focus on the main ones. Shelly Squadbuster, the game doesn't even exist anymore, but the skin is still there, that's 13%, which Shelly comes in second place with 14%. First place goes to Shelly Star by a wide margin at 23% with a big gap to second place. Is the skin truly appealing, or do people just value its rarity? That's the main dilemma of this video. Last year, the same issue arose, though with a smaller gap. Shelly Star had 21%, while Shelly Witch still had 18%, so feel free to tell me your opinion in the comments. What exactly do you prefer? Do you judge a skin more by its looks or its rarity? For serious, most of you picked code Periodo. At the same time, I had put either the default skin or code Periodo. You were nice to me, thank you. For Spike, there are two skins that stand out. The third one, let's say, is Spike Kaka. It's not too bad. It still has 11%. But the two skins that stand out are Supervillain Spike, which is a skin that's starting to get old. It has 28.74%, and the first one is Cartoon Spike with 34.61%. We still have a little honorable mention, especially for Spike Bush, which has almost 10%. Yes, we do have a few little additions. Before, Phantom Squeak was almost the best looking skin. Everyone loved it. Assess which will stay on top. Current contender, Love Filter, or Scarab Squeak. Note, Brainy Squeak still holds over 10%. The skin is funny, but its looks are debatable. In third place, we have Scarab Squeak with 11%. Phantom Squeak has dropped a lot. It's in second place with 25%. First place goes to Love Filter Squeak with more than 38%. That's quite a big gap. I can't wait to see next year to find out if Phantom Squeak will take back its place and if the hype around Love Filter Squeak will go down. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Then, there's a skin that's kind of legendary. It's Headless Stew. Indeed, it's in first place, don't worry. It has 33%, but be careful, there are still a few competitors that aren't so bad. We can especially think of Steampunk, which is new and at the same level as Super Christmas, and Sports Stew is second with 20%. Last year for Surge, there was the Skeletic skin. It was a Brawl Pass skin. It was pretty well liked. This year, it completely dropped. It doesn't even reach 10%. Well, I'm really playing with the numbers because it's 9.99%. Even the Chroma skins, well, it's 8.78, 9 and something. But anyway, these are completely different skins. The takeaway is that they're still liked, just less than last year when it was second and other skins had over 10%. Paladin Mecha got all the buzz then. Actually, it didn't go up, it even went down, but it's still in first place by far. Notably, Porcelain came out, took third place and got a lot of buzz since it has 11%. And Kraken is second, so we have the full podium. And once again, there's this novelty effect. Whenever a skin looks nice, maybe we overestimate it a bit too much. That might also be the case for Porcelain, I'm just saying. Tara, it's interesting once again, because back then, there was only Tara Parkour. And Urban Parkour with the remodel, there was really a lot of buzz. It's true that Tara Parkour still has some buzz, since the skin is first with 23%, and Tara Urban Parkour is still on the third step of the podium. But what's interesting is that we actually have this Tara skin, Tara Shukuteki, which is second. And that's good because it's still Kenji's event, and we can really see that the Katana Kingdom brought a real buzz. All the skins from the Katana Kingdom, I feel like they're all in the rankings. They're ranked pretty well. I'm thinking we should almost do a poll to find out which theme you prefer. That would be really interesting. For Tig, there's not much debate. Tig Cerber remains in first by a wide margin. There's a new skin debuting in second place with 17%, Headless Tig, the Halloween skin. But it's still a legendary skin. Then we have three skins at the same level. Tig Krabs, Mekatic, and Ghidorah. Obscure is also on the list. Trunk, there was still 10% of you who preferred the default skin. Let me ask you a question. What's wrong with you? How is it possible that Trunk Royale didn't get 100%? I don't get it. But anyway, in any case, Trunk Royale was chosen by more than 84%. 4% still voted for Trunk Swimmer, which I don't get. Last year showed a pattern, but now it's interesting. Egg Marine and Lunaire were competing for first place. But now, Egg Marine and Lunaire are still fighting, but for second place. And they're far behind because the first is Wally Tanuki. And you know what? 50%, he's part of the Kingdom of Katanas. I'm telling you, this theme is incredible. For Willow, it's really a fight between two skins. Willow Scorpion is third, but still with 12%. So that leaves Willow Demon. I see what you're thinking, I don't care. Is it first or not? Careful, I don't know my favorite skin. And there's Lotus Lunaire, who still has 51%. Yes, Lotus Lunaire is first with the majority of the votes, since Willow Demon only has 31%. Well, that's already huge though. Ziggy, it's pretty mixed. Your favorite at 35% is Electromancien. He's followed by Mage Noir by a few percentage points, and just Mage, he has half as many votes. So you see, just a matter of colors really makes a difference. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this long video. There were a lot of stats, but it helps to know what is most appreciated by the community. I hope you learned a bit more. That was really the main goal. Next time, I'll include images in the polls to make it easier for you since not everyone remembers the names. Let's plan to do this poll again next year. Thanks to everyone who completed the form. See you next time. This is Periado. Bye, guys.